You are asked to prepare 1 liter of 10% sodium bicarbonate solution. You only have a 1% solution and a 20% solution in stock. How many milliliters of the 1% solution will be required to compound this prescription? Alright, so what is the question asking? So they want you to prepare 1 liter of this, but you don't have this in stock. So instead you'll be using a 1% solution and a 20% solution. And then that will equal your 10%. But the question is specifically asking how many milliliters of this. Even though you need to know both of these, they just want you to know what this 1% is that you use in to make 10%. So this is an alligation question. So I'm gonna set up like this: 1% here, and I got a 20% here. Right, and I want to make a 10% solution. So I'm going to do alligation like this, and I'm going to follow the lines here. So 1 minus 10 is 9, and 20 minus 10 is 10. And so I'm going to add these two up here, so that's 10 plus 9 is 19. So I'm going to put these both over 19. Right, so this represents 10 parts over 19 parts, and this bottom half refers to 9 parts over 19 parts, right? And make sure you understand the top half here represents how much of the 1% solution, and then the bottom half here represents how much of the 20% solution. So since I have 1 liter total to make, I'm going to multiply this by the 1 liter, also 1,000 milliliters. I just convert to milliliters because the question wants us to answer in milliliters to make it easy. Right, so multiply both by 1,000 milliliters. So this top half, I just take 10 over 19 times it by 1,000. That equals 526.315789 milliliters. And if you're not that good in math, that's all you have to do. Just solve for this, because this top half is the 1%, and the question's asking how many milliliters only of the 1% solution. And then just follow the instructions: numeric answer, no units or commas, and round final answer to the nearest whole number. So that equals 526 milliliters because they want a whole number. And so the answer in the computer, you just put in 526, and that's your answer. So if you understand this, that's all you have to do. You could end this video right now. But if you're really good in math and you want to double check your work real fast, what I do personally is I calculate how many, what the total percentage when I add all this together. So I finish calculating this amount of milliliters of the 20% solution. So 9 over 19 times it by 1,000, that equals 473.684211 milliliters. And now I'm going to find out how many grams of drug on each of these. So I'm going to take this 526.315789 milliliters. Oops, 315 milliliters. Multiply that by the 1% solution, 1 gram over 100 milliliters. Right, this so I can get the number of grams in this. And that equals 5.26315789 grams. Now I'm going to find the number of grams in this 473 milliliters in 20% solution. This number times it by 20%, which is 20 grams over 100 milliliters. And that equals 94.7368422 grams. Right? And now I'm going to add these two together, the amount of drug in both the 1% solution and the 20% solution, and that equals 100 grams. Right, so that's 100 grams of the drug total in this solution plus this solution. Right, and since this 100 grams is in 1 liter total, it's over 1,000 milliliters. Right, so 100 grams over 100 milliliters is the same thing as 10 grams over 100 milliliters. And that's the same thing as 10%, right? Which is what the question's asking for, 10%. That's how you know this answer is correct. 526. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments.